Hello, Aries, and welcome to Metamystic Tarot. My name is Saint I, and I am the Metamystic. Now, first of all, we always let the light in on this channel, and we ask for healing, clarity, and guidance. Best and highest messages for Aries today. First on the agenda is to look at the overall picture. What's going on here in the overall energy for Aries? We have the big cards to show that. We have the medium-sized regular cards to clarify what's down below, so to speak. And then the little baby cards. It's like, the way I see it is, this is the headline. The regular size cards are the actual article. And then the little cards are like the footnotes. So we're really going to get in here and then continue it even further down the line on the extended. So if you're interested in the extended, you could always head on over to Patreon, link in the top of the description. Aries for Aries. Cards aren't talking today. You have something on your mind. I'm seeing somebody going like this to their head and just like sitting on the edge of their bed, like trying to think through something so passionately. I was going to say, you're passionately thinking, Aries, about something. Yeah, and I'm seeing the clock dial, and it's moving. It's like, you know how they show that on a movie to show that time is passing? It's like I'm seeing you do this passionate mental processing over a long period of time, over a long stretch of time. Okay, there we go. All right, Aries, we got something. We got something for you. And what we have at the bottom of the deck, this could be part of the processing that's going on here. This is a card, and I'm going to get to that one. This is a card of rebirth. It's kind of similar to the death card in that, but it's bigger than the death card. It's the final card of the major arcana. It's like you have gone through all the lessons so far in this journey that you've been taking. And now it's time to graduate. Okay, so I think we're going to be talking about that today. Graduation. And we have the Page of Cups here. We're going to talk about the Page of Cups. All right. Aries. Aries. I'm also seeing somebody crawling through a desert, like the Sahara, or, you know, it's like the middle, sand dunes, all alone in the middle of the desert, crawling through this desert storm. It's like sand is hitting this person in the face, and they're crawling forward. They're looking for water. They're looking for what? The Page of Cups. How's what you're looking for, Aries? It's being offered. A cup of cold water in the desert, perhaps. Too many there. But this one. Yes. This one. Oh, this one. This is what you've been dealing with. Seven of Swords. Now I see why the hand was on the head, and the hand of the clock was moving, and the desert storm, looking for water, looking for escape from some sort of deception that you couldn't quite see through. But this is the wake-up call you've been looking for, Aries. You've been looking for something, haven't you? You've been searching for the next thing with the World card at the bottom of that big deck. And the big deck represents like the big overall picture of the situation, the headline, if you will. You know, one of those very sensationalistic titles that grab your attention. Yeah. But this ain't clickbait. You know, what's happening for you right now, this cold cup of water that's being offered to you as you crawl through the desert dryness of where you've been, you are coming out the other side. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing somebody, you're coming out of the desert, and it's like suddenly, it's weird. It's weird imagery. It's like you're in the middle of this desert, but then all of a sudden, it's like your foot steps onto pavement and you're just back in society again. And you looked back in the desert and you're like, was that a mirage? No, it wasn't a mirage. You had to crawl through that. I gotta get this world card out because I just keep speaking about it. It's supposed to be in the reading. It's supposed to be here. Or let me do this, because this is what's coming next. Or what's already here. But this is what's happened to you, Aries. And that's what I'm trying to make clarity for here. Give you clarity about. This is what you were crawling through in that desert, the world. You were getting to that other side where then you're going to be met as you walk onto that blacktop, pavement there and walk back into society. That's the cold cup of water that you've been looking for, Aries. You had to crawl through that desert. You had to cross that. You had to cross through that for some reason. And it's looking like in the past here with the Seven of Swords, you were leaving some sort of foggy situation that you couldn't quite see through I'm seeing an opaque white fog, like very dense fog that you couldn't see through. And this could just be your own self. In the present moment, you're planning. In the present moment, you're like, okay, what do I do next? Why? Because you've come out of this world, and it's like, see how he's holding the world in his hands? It's like he's holding this card. He's holding his journey that he's completed. And now he's looking out, and he's like, what now? Yes, I got away from this in the recent past, but what now? Aries is asking, so... All I know, Aries, is that this 10 of Wands, you're dropping burdens, you're moving away from this sort of 7 of Swords, deceptive sort of energy, and deceptive only because it was like you couldn't see the intentions of where you were before. And, that's not a safe place to be. If you feel like you don't really know where you stand, or even if it's just within yourself. Yes, 6 of Swords. See? That's it. You're moving away from this 5 of Pentacles energy here. See, they're being hit with snow in the face in this card, right? But what I was seeing was desert. Like, it was like you were crawling through this card, but it was a desert as opposed to being left out in the cold. It was like you were being left out in the heat. And you might have said to yourself, I feel like I'm moving through hell. I'm hearing somebody say that. Sometimes that's what it is, You thought that this was your everything, 10 of Cups. You thought that was as good as it was going to get. And I'm sorry for that, Aries. You know why? Because this was some bullshit. And I'm just going to speak plainly about it. Whatever this was, whatever you had to crawl through, you had to get away from this. This was a veil of what's actually available for you in this life, Aries. It's a big, bold world out there. And that's what you're thinking about in the present. You're starting to open yourself up to the real Ten of Cups that's here for you. The world is a very big place. It's dynamic. You can do thousands of things. You know, I did a reading for you a couple weeks ago, Aries, called "The World is Your Oyster." I think I titled it. Similar energy. So I just want to encourage you and say, whatever this was, I'm seeing it again. It's like the fog was so thick, it was opaque. You could not see through it. If you watched that reading from a couple weeks ago about the world is your oyster, I talked in that video about this pearlescent energy. This was not that. Okay. This, you couldn't see. There was no hope. And you thought that was as good as it's going to get with the Ten of Cups. Oh no, Aries. Oh no. There's so much more for you. You just have to dream it, believe it, create it. And have the perseverance to move forward, because this guy's just standing here, right? You know, he's gotten to the end of his journey with the world, which you have here. And now you're being offered a new path. So presently, Two of Wands. We're going to continue this in the extended. The Fool. Oh, yeah. Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, too. You're building a new life for yourself, Aries. The Fool on top of the Two of Wands. Absolutely. That's where you're headed. You're headed on your new adventure. And that's what this Page of Cups is. I like how Chris Reck of Minnow Pond Tarot talks about how this guy's looking at this fish in this cup here. It's a dream that he has. And so what we've got to do is, yes, in the present you're doing that. You're planning, you're thinking, you're strategizing. What can I do next? Where's my next move? You're moving forward with the Fool. But we saw the Magician before, and we see the Three of Pentacles here. It's something that needs to be brought down to earth and manifested. We also saw the Magician manifested, not just dreamed about. This guy, he's dreaming. This guy, he's beginning to move, the Fool. And then this guy in the future, he's actually moving. He is literally on a boat moving forward. So you are making forward motion as you continue this progression. Six of Swords for Aries. And then we're going to close. Six of Swords. 2 cards, and I'll take them. Alrighty then. Okay. King of Swords. Let me just look for a moment. King of Swords. 6 of Pentacles. You have to be firm about this with the King of Swords. Swords, swords, 6 of Swords, King of Swords. See this blue behind the King of Swords? It almost looks like water. This water almost looks like he's in water here. That's how I'm seeing it. We have the Page of Cups here. So what I'm seeing, what I mean by all that with the blue and everything like that, and then this beggar wearing blue as well. You're moving, and 10 of Cups with the blue as well. The real 10 of Cups, your real 10 of Cups. You are moving toward your water. We saw you in the desert parched for just one little drop. There's plenty. There are rivers of water for you, Aries, here. But you have to be firm like this King of Swords and decide that this is the way I'm going to continue to move in, is how I'm seeing this King of Swords, and be very in your mindset about it. Like, decide. this is where I'm headed, and I'm going to continue to head in this direction because this was your past. This is what you dealt with. And it takes a lot mentally to, it's like the neural pathways in our brain are established through experiences. And so we have to forge ahead and create these new experiences, these new paths that create the new mindset, the new life. And sometimes you've got to be firm about it with the King of Swords. You have to continue to establish it, continue to lay down the law of your own mind. And then in that, you'll find that you're going to come into money. You're going to come into a new awareness, is how I'm seeing this card, that there are opportunities all around you. They've always been there, Aries. But now you're able to see it because you've come out of this fog that you used to be in. And you decided to take the fool's journey and begin anew. And that's what I'm seeing for you, Aries. I'm seeing a new start. It's like you're a quick start. You are moving in a way that is more your energy. It's like a fiery movement forward. And I think there was a stagnancy back here that caused you to stay stuck. And it's against your nature. It's counter to who you really are. And now that you've taken this new journey and you've planned to in the present, and now you're actually moving in that direction with the Six of Swords as you move into the future, that's when you establish this new mindset of forward motion, and that's when all these opportunities are going to open up for you. But are they really opening, or were they there all along? That's a question I want you to ask yourself today, Aries. All right, much love to you. If you want to continue this reading, which I'm about to do right now over on Patreon, clink, kind of like a celebration to two glasses coming together of champagne. Click that link in the top of the description. Freudian slips are not really Freudian slips. They're kind of just the truth. So if that's any indication of where you're headed, it's going to be towards celebration. But click that link in the top of the description, Aries, if you want to keep listening to me babble on about your life. Then I will see you over on Patreon. Much love to you. See you next time. Bye.